welcome back to the bench. I'm not quite sure why I agreed to take this on. It's another machine with a great big confuser in there. This one has an unreadable screen. The pitch knob is a bit wobbly. The portamento has been completely broken from the actual potentiometer itself. And there's a lot of screws missing. And the right output wasn't working. Couldn't get any signal from it. I just watched a video by Marcus Fuller. He had one similar situation as this. It looks like these are just 10k normal potentiometers. And he used an iron to fix the connection of the ribbon cable to the screen. So we'll have to give that a go. Let's see if we can take her apart. So there's one screw which you can't get at without taking out the mains and switch assembly board. Uh-oh. So the knob cap is almost glued onto this shaft and it just rips out the centre of the potentiometer. Okay, now we can inspect the carnage. Those knob caps were completely glued onto those shafts, so you can see it's just ripped out the whole centre section of these potentiometers. So we're going to have to replace more than just the two broken ones. So I suspect exactly the same thing happened with this portamento one. They probably tried to pull the cap off. Oh, but they do eventually come out. So I think we're going to have to replace all of them. The volume here, it's actually protected by this metal thing which is screwed down on, so when you pull the caps off, shouldn't have damaged it. But I did notice that this wasn't actually doing anything, the volume. I don't know whether that was something to do with the programming of the unit. I'm just going to quickly measure the resistance. Well, it actually measures okay, so I think that must be just a weird software thing that's going on. Okay, so let's take them out. I'm not quite sure how well that went. I don't think I really managed to get the iron hot enough to make any difference. I don't want to overdo it because I don't want to damage this quite delicate ribbon cable here. So we'll put the new pots in, put it all back together, and if necessary we can remove the front panel section and take this out from the front and try it. There's not a lot of stock in the UK with everything that's been going on lately. I was able to get these 10k pots. They're centre dented, very similar in size. The new one is just slightly taller, but they're the closest match that I could get hold of today. I didn't replace these dual gang ones. These were protected by the metal anyway, so. Okay, so just looking at this face looks like it's broken. I wonder if that's the reason why we don't have the right output. This is the main volume knob. I have to measure it. Yep. They're both open circuit. I'm going to have to run wires for these. There you go. Barely an inconvenience. Just 2 wires added. The best way to put this back together is to raise up the front panel. I've put it on these little boxes here. What's really interesting is the power supply is the same as the JP8080 that we were looking at in the previous video. I've got the parts for this, so I haven't put it back together yet. But yeah, interesting to see they use the same power supplies. I forgot this little connector here. It wasn't so bad. I just had to re-unscrew this top board and I could poke it through. Okay, let's see if she even turns on again. Okay, looking good. Ah, it has got a little bit better. I might give it another go though. We'll see how easy it is to take off that front panel. And the main reason I was so pleased to get the this size potentiometers because this ring goes over it and that protects it for wiggling left to right or whatever. These knob caps in some warm soapy water, give them a bit of a clean. So this is just held on by our double-sided sticky tape, and unlike an iPhone which is made of glass, we can't heat this because it's plastic and probably melt it. So I'm just going to have to try and chip away until I can get some leverage. And just in case you didn't know, your iron has an actual synth setting, which is for fixing synthesizers. And just for reference, let's just see what this says with my meter here. And it's going to be looking like 100 degrees. 102, and I'm going to be using the edge here.
No, the edge. With your funny little surname, Edge, and your even more peculiar Christian name, The.
What is it, Bono? Bono, with your funny little name, which backwards is Oh Knob.
So what we got there? Yeah, so around about 100 degrees. If we hold the shift button and press 10, we can get into the contrast. Let's just turn the contrast up. It's definitely getting more legible. Let me turn the light off. Okay, well that's a hell of a lot better than it was. I think I'm going to call it quits on that and put the front panel back on. Well, it's not perfect, but it's not broken, so I'm going to live with that. It would have been nice to like push the iron up a bit more, see if we got any better connections. But considering I had to turn the contrast up, I think this LCD is, it's on its way out. But we've given it a little bit of extra life. So all I have to do now is record some audio demos, which I'll put on the sections that I've sped up. Catch you next time.